Hey, what's up guys, my name is Charlie. Today we're going to be reacting to some more Angry Video Game Nerd, and it's going to be episode 191. I've got to say it, I'm so sorry guys, I've got to say it, that's a lot of fish. I know I've overused it, I know I've said it a lot in every single video, and I know I've got to lay the fish to rest, but that's a lot of fish. I really got to let that go. I'm sorry, we're overusing the fish puns. From now on, we'll limit to them. Uh, but yeah, it's going to be 3DO interactive multiplayer, or multiplayer, whatever how you pronounce it. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. It's going to be the 3DO. Don't really remember it. Not really familiar with it. I think I've heard it before, but I've never actually owned it or played any of the games or anything like that. But I think I've seen it before. But that's what I know. But yeah, let's check out the video, shall we? Let's go.
He's the angry video game nerd.
Thanks for watching this episode of the
It's got
Angry
free
Video Game
pens.
Nerd on the 3DO. But
Free
before we
pens,
dive in,
3DO.
let me tell you a little bit about our sponsor, Raycon, and their
Raycon.
everyday E25 earbuds. Raycon's wireless earbuds feature seamless Bluetooth pairing and 6 hours of playtime for half the price of the other premium brands. The company was co-founded by R&B singer Ray J, and it's worn by celebrities like Melissa Etheridge and Mike Tyson. Raycon earbuds come in an array of
It's not
colors
good for
with a
Mike
variety
Tyson
of
because
fit
he bites
options,
your
so
ear
you'll
off.
always be sure to find the perfect match. They're comfortable and
Mike
sound
Tyson's
great,
the sort of guy
too.
that
They're
will
my
bite your bloody
companion
ears
while
off,
cleaning
so.
up and doing chores around the house so that I never have to be without my favorite podcasts and music. Click the link in the description box or go to buyraycon.com/cinemassacre to get 15% off your Raycon purchase.
Okay.
You know, I'm sick of all these baby toys I have lying around. The Sega Genesis,
Sega
Super
Genesis.
Nintendo. Might as well be a rattle and a diaper full of crap. They can't compare to the real gaming juggernaut, the 3DO. Yeah, look at that. This is the real console.
It's the real deal.
More like a real piece of dog shit. The fact they had the audacity to make a commercial calling all other systems baby toys and then put out a glorified FMV player with barely any decent games blows my mind. Also, something I want to mention, the 3DO is one of the rare consoles where you have to
It's a
daisy chain your controllers
yes.
together. I talked a little about this system before,
I remember.
and I never knew a single person who owned it when it came out. Now, why is that? Maybe because when it launched, this fucking bastard cost $700 goddamn dollars. Yeah, that's right,
Jesus.
and we're talking $700 back in '93. To compare that to prices nowadays, with inflation, $700 in '93 equates to about $1,200 in 2020.
Damn, that's
The
a lot of
PlayStation
fucking
5
money.
costs $600 right now. Imagine that pitch to your
Jesus.
parents. Hey Dad, I need $700 for a new 3DO console. Be cheaper for them to slap you upside the head with the Neo Geo cartridge. Your parents would probably flip you off and tell you to go fuck yourself.
Yeah, that's
The
ridiculous
3DO would
amount of
eventually
money.
be price dropped to shit and discontinued after 3 years on the market. It was mostly marketed as a multimedia machine. It had a bunch of non-game kind of shit like educational shovelware and of course a whole assload of soft stool porn games. Like a lot of porn. Can you imagine? I mean, you don't want to imagine. A guy in his living room with a 3DO controller in one hand and his, in the other hand just
junk in the other.
furiously beating it to plumbers don't wear ties? Today, I'll just be focusing
we're
on the
all
shallow
guilty
end
of
the
that.
cesspool with some
Just kidding.
piss-poor games. When the system launched, there was only one game available, Crash and Burn. That's such a kick in the fucking balls, especially for the price. Imagine dropping $700 on an NES and the only game at launch
Pitfall was
was Super
that.
Pitfall. It starts with about 15 minutes of full motion video and production logos. You'll see as I go on that this becomes the fucking theme of the 3DO. 20 minutes of FMV and about 5 minutes of gameplay, because I end up shutting most of these games off from boredom. Crash and Burn is a
boy.
futuristic fecal fart fest combat racing
bit-
game made by Crystal Dynamics, the company best known for the legacy of Kane series.
Oh, that's a good
and
game.
later, the Tomb Raider series. The game has 6 characters you can choose from.
That Kane
and
game's
each one
good.
cuts to a promo when you
Game
select
series
them.
are great.
I like to destroy racers in many different ways, just to keep from being bored.
I like this guy because he looks like Blanca from Street Fighter became a professor or something. You can also play as Rod Stewart if you want. So you might be thinking to yourself, this doesn't look all that bad. But think about this. If you wanted to play this back in '93, you'd have to drop about $750. And that's
Jesus.
not mentioning the fact that a complete copy can run you around $700 today. The combat's pretty lame. The weapons feel like they do absolutely nothing, and the racing is mediocre at best. I guess the graphics looked impressive back in '93, but give me F-Zero any day of the week because Crash and Burn is just plain zero. If combat racing is your thing, Road Rash, on the other hand, is excellent. Everything about this game is great, from the gameplay to the rockin' ass soundtrack. My only real complaint is the engine sound. It's awful. Luckily you can turn it off, but if you don't, all you hear is a high-pitched the entire race.
Yeah, this game looks pretty decent.
You can choose to either race or play the big game mode. This lets you earn money by racing and buy better bikes. The character designs are hideous. It looks like a fish-eyed acid trip. Real 90s style shit. I usually pick Slim Jim because he starts off with a club. Hearing that clunk sound every time I cave in a rider's skull is so satisfying. In between races, you get these FMV cutscenes. They're pretty cool. Overall, this is probably the best game on the 3DO, definitely in the top 5. But like a lot of the other games on here, it's available on the PlayStation or Saturn, and nowadays, the 3DO copy can cost you upwards of $80 for a complete one.
Damn.
You just get it on PlayStation for $20.
Jeez.
Another game you could also get on the PlayStation is Gex. Crystal Dynamics' entry into the 3DO mascot contest.
Okay.
The game uses pre-rendered 3D graphics for character sprites. It reminds me of Donkey Kong Country, another game I'd much rather be playing.
Supposed to be a
On
lizard
the internet,
or...
this game gets talked about a lot, but the funny thing is, everyone always shows the graveyard level. Probably because the game is so boring, everyone turns it off once they've recorded enough footage.
Yeah.
It's an okay platformer, and Gex was able to jump ship when the 3DO died out. The same can't be said for the 3DO's true mascot, however, Captain Quasar. This game also uses the pre-rendered sprite look, but plays
Its
like
chin
an
looks like a
overhead shooter
testicle,
instead of
like a
platformer.
ball sack.
The gameplay is fine, but it's super repetitive.
It's like Peter
You
Griffin
just run
from
around
Family
shooting
Guy,
stuff.
sort of.
The camera snaps and swings around like it's being controlled by a drunk uncle at a family reunion. Kind
pair
of
of
makes me
balls.
sick. Captain Quasar is making me Captain Queasy.
Captain
Sorry.
Balls.
The best part of this game is the insane musical number at the beginning. The robots are rapping and singing about Captain Quasar.
Why
The
not
animation's
rapping
pretty
robots?
decent, but it seems like they put way more effort into this intro than the actual game.
This is hip. This is what we call
Here's
cool
a weird
gamers.
one. Soccer Kid. You play as
Soccer
this
Kid.
little shit that runs around kicking a soccer ball at people. I guess the story is that some space pirates steal a soccer trophy or something, then they crash and the pieces fly all over the world and you have to collect them.
Like-
It's animated like a dollar store
Bart
bootleg
Simpson, the
DVD.
Simpsons
Use your
game.
soccer ball as a weapon, but without it, you're just some dickhead kid without powers or any way to attack or defend yourself. I played this game long enough to realize that I don't really like it and would rather base jump into a flea market porta-john than play anymore. Also, I don't know what this kid did, but everyone in this town wants to fucking kill him. Dogs, skateboarders, and especially these
What did he do
surly-looking
to
guys
piss
who whip
everybody
wrenches
off?
at his head. How fucked up is that? This kid's willing to travel the world to save a soccer trophy, but grown adults will cave his skull in with a wrench to stop him. This game is fucked up. Battle Chess is a game I remember
Battle
thinking
Chess.
was an awesome idea.
Okay.
That is until I actually played it. It's possibly
Kinda
the
reminds me of, like,
slowest
the
game
Star
of
Wars chess
I've
game.
ever witnessed. Yeah. Each time a piece moves, you have to watch it walk to the spot, and these characters walk slower than
Oh.
compacted shit out of Sloth's shit shoot.
painful.
I was playing this shit for almost 10 minutes before anything actually happened. Eventually, I just started sacrificing pieces just to see the kill animations, which I'll admit are fucking stupendous. I love the Monty Python reference with the knight.
Oh yeah, there we go.
But that's all it is. It's the world's slowest chess simulator. I'd be fine if the pieces didn't need to slowly saunter over to each space. I can't believe they made a video game that's actually slower and more boring than an actual chess game. You'd have a better time watching a dog turd turn white. And yes, real chess is awesome. It's the intellectual shit,
see the
man.
Star Wars
The
chessboard
Horde
game.
is a game
Jesus.
that's usually praised as one of the best games on the system. It's fine. You play as Kirk Cameron swinging around a
Ooh.
giant sword. Yes, you actually play as Kirk Cameron. There's an intro cutscene that, of course, goes on for like 10 minutes. Kirk
course.
saves a king from choking to death, and in return is given his own plot of land and a big-ass sword. You spend your time building traps, planting trees, and raising cattle so you can pay your taxes. In between building phases,
pretty
your town gets attacked
somewhat
by trolls.
decent,
So
I
Kirk
guess.
runs around swinging his sword like a maniac and slashing the trolls into puddles of liquid. It's a decent game, but I can't imagine playing this for long periods of time. There's nothing super wrong with the game, it just gets old pretty quick. Another decent game for the 3DO is Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Street Fighter,
Well,
bloody
it
hell, here we
would be
go.
decent. In fact, it could have been the best home console incarnation of the Street Fighter 2 lineage that existed back in the day. But there's one problem.
What?
One huge problem. The 3DO controller has only 3 buttons. That ain't gonna work. Everyone knows you need 6. So I got the Pro Pad, which has the same button configuration as a Super Nintendo controller.
Okay.
And we all know Street Fighter worked great on the Super Nintendo. 4 buttons on the front, 2 on the top. There's your 6. You're all set. But this controller, you wouldn't believe. The bottom button, X, is actually the start button. And
What?
it can't even be changed in the option menu. You can
Oh,
reassign all
no.
the other buttons except start. So when you're
that
trying to
sucks.
fight, you're going to keep accidentally pausing the game.
Oh, no, that's
That
terrible.
Fucking sucks.
That's arse.
And this thing was made by STD.
STD.
You'd be better off getting a real STD than getting this shit.
Fucking
so what
STD.
you really need to get
That
is
company.
the weird-ass Capcom
Let's-
fight
let's it
pads
was an
that they had to
LJN.
send away for. They're one of the dumbest
It's like the
shaped
video game
controllers
art
I've ever
console.
seen, though surprisingly comfortable. Also, the music in the game is awesome. It's an arranged version of the original and sounds great. So this one is good as long as you get the right controller. But you want to see some shit, right? Well, check out Way of the Warrior.
Way of the Warrior,
This game was
okay.
developed by Naughty Dog before they
Naughty
made hits
Dog.
like Crash Bandicoot. Imagine Mortal Kombat if nobody gave 2 flying shits about it. The ninja character in the game is just named Ninja. A ninja named Ninja. You
Ninja
can't get any
named Ninja.
lazier than that
Simpler,
shit. Also,
easy and
what in
quicker.
the fuck hell is a Shaky Jake? Each
Shaky
character
Drake.
plays like cheap chump fucks. They jump like 40 feet in
Shaky
the air,
Jake.
and you can get caught in infinite downward attacks until
better than
you're
Zacky
fucking dead
Wacky.
in 10 seconds. The special attacks are more like
Zacky
shit
fucking Wacky.
spectacles. And don't even get me started on the
Zacky
fatalities
Wacky.
because they are
Jesus.
just confusing as all hell.
I see your heart beats for me!
An honorable mention is the soundtrack that just plays an endless string of White Zombie songs. I'm pretty sure that's where the entire budget went because the game is programmed like someone wrote the code with their ball sacks. Anyway, game sucks. Next, Virtuoso. This is a rare kind of game
Virtuoso.
that makes you question the very meaning of shit. I
Whoa.
don't even know where to begin.
What the hell
First
is
off,
this?
I can't get over the music.
It's like a
Just
3D
listen to it.
virtual. Can't hear it.
Sounds like they hired the band that got last place in the Battle of the Bands at the East Bumblefuck Community Center. All the music's by a band called Tie-Dyed, spelled T-H-A-I.
Tie
I
dyed.
tried to look them up on Google, but all I got was articles on people in Thailand who died. Well, that's pretty depressing. I'm guessing
Damn.
that band name didn't go very far. You play as a leathery, long-haired dirtbag with dual shotguns and shoot the shit out of seagulls, weird faceless dudes, wasps, and
How
M209s. You could either get your ass to Mars, the beach, or Boo Haunted House. The
Boo
Haunted House
Haunted
level makes
House.
no sense either. It's just a snowfield with a
What
bunch
the
of giant
fuck is
snowmen
this
rolling
shit
their
I'm
balls at you.
watching?
You can move up against the walls, but the controls get fucked. If you come across a copy of Virtuoso somewhere, throw it in the old Trashuoso. Alone in the Dark 1 and 2
Alone in
are a
the
couple
Dark.
games that are known for their influence for the Resident Evil series.
Mm-hmm.
They're basically Resident Evil if every character was played by a diseased Muppet. The tank controls are far worse than Resident Evil, if you can believe it. Everything moves at a snail's pace. The graphics, I'm sure at the time, were decent, but everything looks like a pulsating mass of polygonal and pixelated poo-poo. Anything in the distance looks like a blob of geometry jism, and I can't get anywhere in the game without dying. Being the first of its kind is a tough deal. Basically, this game walked so Resident Evil could run. But right now, these games are giving me the runs. Siberia is a
Siberia.
baffling mess. It looks
Okay.
like another Resident Evil type game, but if Resident Evil has tank controls, Siberia has septic tank controls. Basically,
Septic
you
tank.
point the character in the direction you want to go, and a video of him walking plays. The best part of this game is the death animations. You also die from the stupidest shit possible. He dies from slipping in a puddle,
Oh, come on. What a pussy.
and also from touching this hot barrel?
What? How the hell could you
He's
die
probably
from?
the most inept hero I've ever seen in a video game.
It's like lesser the unlikely. What a pussy. What a
Eventually,
nerd.
you get to a part where you're defending the base from a bunch of pictures of aircrafts and boats. I don't know if this is the
this
rest
Top
of the
Gun
game,
bullshit?
but it goes on forever. It's like if Top Gun on the NES.
Yeah, Top Gun, I was
barfed
thinking
into
that.
the "Where did you learn to fly?" woman's mouth. So
Fuck.
we've covered a bunch of games so far.
Where did you
Horror
learn how to
games,
fly?
combat racing, platformers, fighters, and whatever the ever-loving fuck virtuoso is. But now let's get into the premier genre of the 90s, the first-person shooters.
All right.
First up is Poed.
It kinda looks like
actually,
Goosebumps,
PO'd.
sort of like text.
This game is just weird-ass shit. You play as an intergalactic
Whoa, what the
chef
hell is that?
who's the last living member of
like
his
a
ship's crew.
anus.
You fight evil alien asses and
Yeah,
other
it looks like
ugly-as sin
anus.
monsters with a frying pan.
It
The
does.
movement of this game gives me severe motion sickness. I've played a lot of early first-person shooters, but this
Oh,
one
this
just
looks
moves like you're
wobbly.
ice skating after downing a bottle of Ipecac syrup.
Kinda reminds me
I have
like
the urge
Turok,
to
the
violently
sort of
projectile vomit
movement.
after a few minutes of this, and not just because it kind of sucks. But here we go. The granddaddy of shit first-person shooters on the 3DO.
Okay.
Doom.
Doom?
And I know,
What?
you're wondering, how could you have the
How?
audacity to spray steamy, foamy diarrhea on Doom?
How
But hear
Doom?
me out. Doom on the 3DO is not Doom. It's a sad excuse for Doom. Doom on a TI-83
Ooh.
graphic calculator would
Look
play
at
better
that.
than this. I want it to be known, this game was ported over by one person, tasked with making this game happen and only
Please
equipped
not
with 2
AVGN.
shit sticks to rub together in just 10 weeks. What you get is Doom running at about the frame rate of a Viewmaster. Seriously, this game at the lowest setting runs at almost single-digit frame rates and plays like a fucking lawn chair. There's
Oh,
actually a
boy.
code for larger screen sizes, but it's way worse. It's almost hard to believe this would be allowed
Oh,
to be
that's
released
terrible.
at
It's like the
retail,
Risk
but it was
game's
the
more
90s.
superior
Look at all
than
the
this.
broken-ass shit that was allowed to pass
64
elsewhere.
bits,
This was the system that
32
brought you
bits,
such gems
16
as Plumbers
bits.
Don't Wear Ties and Shadow War of Succession.
Fucking hell, the Risk
On to
game's
the
better
next
than that
game.
shit.
You can't mention
Demolition
3DO without mentioning Demolition Man.
All right.
The thing that
It's gotta
stuns
be
me
good,
about
right?
this game is the amount of actual Stallone that is in the game. You don't just get movie clips like you would with most games. You get Sylvester Stallone running around fake backgrounds on a green screen. It's incredible. The game
Ah.
skirts the line between a light gun shooter and a first-person shooter. Imagine Doom if you just stood still while enemies popped up around you. Oh, and don't forget the Mortal Kombat style boss fights. This game
Yeah,
is
of course.
definitely a product of its time. Maybe I'll get into it more another day because I suck ass at the fighting scenes. Speaking
right, I
of games
suck at
with
all
known
games.
actors in it,
Hell?
check out Hell, which has Dennis Hopper.
Oh,
It's
Dennis
a
Hopper. Oh,
cyberpunk
shit.
FMV game, but all you need to know, it's called Hell and has Dennis fucking Hopper.
Yes, of course.
On to the motherlode of 3DO shit, American Laser Games.
American
So this
Laser
company
Games,
put out
okay.
a bunch of awful, shit-stained light gun games. Their most notable ones were the Mad Dog McCree games,
Mad Dog
but they also
McCree.
made the Crime Patrol series. The Mad Dog McCree games are
Whoa.
spaghetti western-type light gun shooters that use interactive full-motion videos. They're fun as a novelty, but considering the price of the light gun,
Something
and
like
the
a
games,
VHS
plus
tape
the
you would
actual
play.
3DO, you'd be spending around
not really.
$900 to play them back in '93.
And it's not
Plus,
worth it.
nowadays, the gun is super rare and can go for almost the price of the 3DO console. Is it worth it? Well, not the fuck really. Especially since you need a CRT to play it with. But if all you had was one of these new HD TV things, well, then you're going to have to use the regular 3DO controller or the mouse.
Oh,
yeah, the
Christ.
mouse. You have to be rich as shit to collect 3DO
Yeah, you gotta be
games,
rich to
or
buy all
just
this
happen
shit.
to have a family member that owned a Panasonic store in the 90s. Special thanks to my buddy Rob for letting me borrow all his expensive shit so I can rip it apart with criticism 30 years later. The
Alright.
first Mad Dog McCree game can only be played with the gun or the controller. With the controller, it's impossible. You have to move the cursor down to the bottom of the screen to reload,
Oh,
and
it's
it
so
moves
slow.
super slow. By the time you reload
Look
and
at the
move it back
slowness
up,
of that. It's
you're
slower
already
than a
dead.
turd coming out your ass.
Mad Dog McCree
Oh.
2 lets you use the mouse, but it sucks balls. You start off shooting shit with this old dude and then come across a guy that's riddled with arrows. Like, goddamn, that dude should be dead as
yeah,
fuck
he's got
before
like
you even
50
talk to
arrows
him.
in that
Then
guy.
it's a miracle if you get past the first group of dudes shooting at you. The hitbox is not only small as fuck, but it's timed. If you don't shoot the extremely small target before it expires, you're dead. It's the same in Crime Patrol. Some of the enemies aren't able to hit right away. Then you have a split second when they're able to be shot to get them. If not, you get made fun of for dying.
You'll never make sergeant. Sorry, partner, you just don't know beans about shooting.
Down here, we just call shooting like that bad.
You're dead. That's not good, is it?
Oh no, it's
Yeah, you
not
think
good.
that's normal for a cop or sheriff to make
What the
fun of their
fuck is
dead
this
partner
shit?
for getting killed? These people are fucked up beyond
Yeah,
all
they're
recognition.
heartless.
Foobar, if you will. Sometimes it's hard to even see where the enemies are. Like in a dark room, they're just pixels. How am I supposed to hit them? Without the gun, these games are pig shit in the wind. Even with the mouse, they're just weird to play. I can't stop dying over and over. It's sad because the sequel to Crime Patrol, Drug Wars, is hilarious. It opens with this dude doing the world's worst Tony Montana impression.
I am Lopez. I have the mansion, I have the money, I have the drugs, I have the power.
When you're working with Officer Hillbilly,
The power,
running
you
down all
have the
drug
power glove,
operations in
of
this
course.
hick fucking town, wherever they film this. But even with the gun, these games seem insanely difficult.
You must have the power
Unless you
glove.
know every single thing that's about to come at you. They're definitely interesting with their mix of live action video and gameplay. Maybe I'll do an episode on American laser games in the future, maybe. But for now, these games can fuck off.
Yeah.
So I've gone through a pretty big list of games, and while I can't play every 3DO game, there is one I have left that's haunted me since 2007.
Oh, Corpse
Now we
Killer.
got Corpse Killer. Unfortunately, I can't even show you much about this game because it keeps freezing. I actually had a lot to say about this one.
Was
but
that
right
for the
now, it's
CDO
not
or something
fucking
like that?
working. Corpse Killer, consider yourself lucky.
That's right.
Oh boy. Oh, we're gonna see that next time. All right. I was hoping I was hoping to see it now, but okay, Corpse Killer is gonna be the next one. Okay, that was 3DO interactive multiplayer. That was pretty good. Enjoyed it. You know, the Doom one looked absolutely atrocious. I mean, that looks absolutely atrocious. But some of the games look pretty good. I might the bike game looked pretty good. You know, some of them looked really bad. Some of them looked good. The spaghetti western games. I don't know about those. I mean, those are just weird. I mean, they remind me of like those VHS tapes with light guns and all that sort of stuff. I don't really think I would spend over $1,200 on a console and then buy all like the accessories and all the rest of the games that could calculate up to another $500. I mean, it's just not really feasible at the time at purchase back then. If you were rich or you had your own game store, yeah, most likely. But you know, the games are expensive, the console's expensive, and everything about the 3DO was probably expensive back then. And obviously it was not a good investment, and obviously the games weren't great. But yeah, very interesting. The 3DO is very fascinating, very interesting, and I just can't wait for the next one, which is going to be Corpse Killer. You know, we're going to revisit that one. Boy, that's going to be a good one. But yeah, if you like this video, make sure to give it a like, comment down below, make sure to subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my content. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.